Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Ravens going up against the Patriots. With that, we'll send you up to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are about an hour's drive southwest of downtown Boston in the area known as Patriot Place, Gillette Stadium, here in Foxborough. Tonight, the preseason draws to a close with a good matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal of this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words: don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. A first carry now. This is Hill. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down and just 1.
Ringo. Hey, watch the ball. Here we go.
Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rap.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The lines move there. Look like nobody open. Now 2nd down. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. There. Now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a large yardage possibility. Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This is fielded at the 7. There he goes, left side. Past the 20. Have taken the early lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense. Like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Surrendering the punt return for a score. Let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And drive number 1 for them was a punt. We'll see what drive number 2 holds here.
And oftentimes you think to yourself, okay, second possession, let's go ahead and open things up. Let's get a little bit crazy on offense. Maybe it wasn't a matter of that. Maybe they just missed a block or two. Maybe they had the right plays call. Sometimes it's just the execution. Let's see if they can execute a little bit better on this drive. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Second down, Hill. 2 yards on the pick out there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And there they went crossing route against his own defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. 2 Patriots there to bring him down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. As he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback. Start this drive in the air. It's caught by Mike Evans. He's brought down after a great game. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it gives the Pats a 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for the Patriots. 52 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to take them out. And it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter.
Here we go. What? None. Ohio.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move to Sticks.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Come on, let's go. One round.
They'll set up a throw. makes it work.
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No other total offense right here. The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. Right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Again, it's Hill. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet. You're hoping to carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
Sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great attack game. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no good plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a first set of downs. They'll look to throw now, 1st down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
We got chips over here. Chips over here. Let's go. What?
They go play action here on 1st down. That is caught by Williams for a Patriots touchdown. Max Williams, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The New England defense gearing up to take the field. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively that has the same case on that play. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Let's go! On 3rd down, he'll drop the throw. Underneath is a Hill. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's...
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Here we go.
The first throw here for the backup, Taylor. And they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Now that screen on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about everything. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. On his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. He'll look to set up his blockers. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. Well run now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. His teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Back to throw here. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is off the side of his foot. And not a great punt here. Out of bounds in the air. They're going to say this one doesn't even get to the 40. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's Taylor. Get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Here we go. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and long. It's Taylor. To it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now out come the Patriots. And on the last go around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They're to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They're going to look to throw. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And will be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now fourth down coming up. Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing right around the midfield stripe.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Single receiver, single receiver. Hey.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go! 38! 38!
On second down, Taylor. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
Certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, you're right, the sync just wasn't there.
And down he goes. There'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. send their punter out now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes straight green, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have honored it.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was fed by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And defensively, Baltimore's in a down look here on third. They'll set up to throw. And he finds him in the crossing route. And he's brought down after a good game. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Fresh set of downs here. So they're on that play. Offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. And then moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Again, he'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us to get a glance at this Patriots defense. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often. All those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
Let's go! Ohio! Ohio! Check 50.
They'll run it now on the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. We remind you with it coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
Yeah, I think you're right, partner.
Let's go! One, nine! Right there.
Butler. He's got time to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead the big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's going to lose you. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Let's go one more.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read and it's picked up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And the Ravens are going to have a first down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Let's go!
Now Taylor on first down. And that's incomplete. Yards still left on second down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Can't find anyone open. All kinds of time. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Taylor to throw it. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Their big tight end as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Yeah, you heard it, right? Exhale. The exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, they can just tighten.
It's what they want to do, tighten down everything they're doing, and then maybe explode at the right time.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
These guys made the crossing route. A nice gain of 21 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerated a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Let's go! In the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Throw across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked up. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So we are, okay, well, something for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Patriots coming out now. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? All these things going through his head. My God, can we drop it?
The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw. It's tight end. The throw is complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective. That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They go play action here on first down. Deep drop. He's going to fire one deep over the middle and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys did not play offense. I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Well, he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though. Put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up the third down.
Partner, we know the days NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking when they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get ready, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A nice pick up there at 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Yeah, that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send the blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he took the thing one-handed like Brown. A good pickup there, 22.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really worked hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
No, check. Patriot!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
And when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Take the words right out of them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Taylor surveying the field. And that is incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Here comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On the run, he'll let this go. And the 7-yard the catch is made. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. It's the fullback. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are pouring it on. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt, the will as well as a really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. And the lead is now an even 30. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've done before and realize it hasn't worked somewhere else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
To the 30. A whole bevy of Patriots there that time to bring him down. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run.
Win the rep. Win the rep.
Back now in Foxborough. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Here we go. Ohio. Switch gears.
They'll run it now to the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And it's taken in at the 9. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Patriot offense now set to come back out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
10-yard penalty there on 1st down, so now 1st and 20.
Here we go now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side. For a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read and it's picked up. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 38-yard line. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. What is something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it now. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. I'll tell you how the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here we go. Red 38.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. He rifles one. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the middle shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. And the interception the last time, their 3rd takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of the play, they want to see all 11 defensive guys in that picture.
He's going to go up top again. Now it's caught inside the 10. A big play there for New England. 49 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. When you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a big loss of 5 there on second down to bring up 3rd and goal.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again. And this result is even worse. They take a sack. On 1st down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. Oh, almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them. Yeah, I'm not supposed to root, but good for them for stopping that one and showing that they haven't given up on this game.
Yeah, I just can't believe, though, that they tried the fake with this margin up that big. But like you said, kudos to the D.
Yeah, if the blood wasn't bad before,
it
might have started that way now. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
And that's fun, isn't it? A really nice game right there. 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. When defenses get to the quarterback down quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and forced an incompletion.
Now it's Taylor to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Ravens defense as they head out to set up shop. And last time, no points surrendered, almost. I mean, the ball was in the red zone. Bottom line, though, they got the stop. They'll be looking to do that once more.
And you know they try to back out there with energy because after you get a 4th down stop and give up no points in a situation where you expect to give up something, you feel so good about yourself and the guy playing next to you as well. That leads you to play pretty well the rest of the game.
And let's see if they can play well again here and get another stop. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. Fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here's Taylor to throw. Incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And he took the ball off course.
Well, the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, getting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
To throw is Taylor. And escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
We play to win. Let's go.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Taken in at the 11. Wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or maybe just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Back to throw here. Looking left side, and it's complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. 73 yards. And the Patriots continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field.
Watch 20, check 20. Single receiver. Hey, you're let's go. Single receiver.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of 40 to mark him down at the 39. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Let's go. 538. You got 4. 538.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. throw on second down. As he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. He wants the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Pats will take over at their own 20. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they'll just run them in.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Football, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
That one looks like he'll fall here. Comes back on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go.
Back to throw again. And incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route, looking for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there.
And the double team is intercepted. As Red Green gets picked up. And fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.